Greetings from Costa Rica, folks, and welcome to this live Thursday chat with Costa Rica Matt. My name is Matt Rosensteel, and I'm broadcasting to you from Playa Junquillal, Guanacaste, Costa Rica. I'm owner-broker of Coldwell Banker Pacific Realty. Thanking you very much for joining me for our chat today about viewer questions that we've received from people like you, which we do at every live chat at the end of the month. I'm on my channel Thursdays at noon Costa Rica time, which is currently the same as Central Time in the US. And in the last broadcast of every month, I handle questions that people have submitted. Today, we'll definitely have some time to touch on questions that are submitted live as we get them. So feel free to add them to the comments as well. We're going to go over a few quick points. One viewer had asked about the January retreat at which I'll be making a presentation. Sarah Elena is giving a relocation retreat in Esterios Oeste, and we're going to talk about that briefly. We're also going to talk about the new, hotly anticipated Matt's Market Report and where you can find it and how we'll be giving access to that. One viewer had questions about bringing fur babies down to Costa Rica, and I'm going to give my thoughts on those things in general. And finally, we had a question about construction insurance that we'll go over. And after that, we'll go over sort of the 2022 year in review. We'll touch on some very exciting news for our brokerage and things we'll be doing in 2023. Thanks very much for joining me today, and stay tuned. Good afternoon, folks, and greetings from Costa Rica. It's our monthly Q&A roundup in which I cover questions submitted by helpful viewers just like you over the past month. My name is Matt Rosensteel. If you're moving to Costa Rica and interested in investing in real estate here, do be sure to email me at matt@cbpacificrealty.com. It'll be a pleasure to help you in any way I can. And without further ado, let's first get here to our question from a viewer about the retreat. Someone wanted to know, what are my thoughts on Sarah Elena's relocation retreat, which will be 19 to the 25th of January in Esterios. I think this client was actually interested in going themselves down to the retreat. I've personally been in attendance twice for Sarah Elena's retreats. In some regards, out in the YouTube world, she's even sort of a competitor, but I absolutely love that Sarah gives really honest, heartfelt advice in trying to help people be successful in moving to Costa Rica. And this kind of relocation retreat can really give a lot of the basic information that people need to take a look at the fundamental question as to whether or not you should move here. And I think one thing that people out there need to understand is that you should not be contacting a Costa Rica realtor until you've answered a lot of fundamental questions about whether Costa Rica is the right country for you. And retreats like Sarah Elena's and people who are doing the relocation kind of work can offer a ton of advice that's great to help you figure out whether or not Costa Rica is right in the first place. And that kind of week-long retreat is an exceptional opportunity to first decide whether or not you actually like the country and whether this makes sense to you, and then to contact realtors. If you contact realtors asking them questions about whether or not Costa Rica is right for you, a realtor is going to want to say yes, and they're going to want to sell you on their real estate. So a lot of people out there like Sarah and others who are talking about relocation and really giving advice about living and moving to Costa Rica rather than trying to sell real estate. They fill an extremely important gap. And I love going down to her retreat or presenting specifically to educate people and tell them, hey, you should really be considering somebody like Sarah and looking at a rental rather than just calling up a realtor and finding out whether or not there's property for sale where you want to be. Next, question number 2, we had somebody ask about Matt's market report and where you will be able to find it. And I just wanted to bring this up again in this week. Matt's market report, we're going to be presenting every single week on Monday nights at 6 p.m. Central Time, aka 6 p.m. Costa Rica time, a report on a different real estate market. Those videos will be going live as premieres Monday at 6. You'll have to do nothing more than look at my channel, and you'll be able to find those on a separate playlist from the real estate information videos, expat living, etc. So we'll have those market reports as a different thread. Our first market report is due out this coming Monday, January 2nd. That's going to be on Playa Grande, which is a market that recently exploded. We're going to give comp data. We're going to give per square meter values of land. And we're going to show the history of how real estate and the data have evolved there to give you real information in considering your Costa Rica real estate search. I wanted to mention, I'm not seeing a single comment in my thread in StreamYard. That might be because it's just mine, but I'm looking over here to our new digital producer, Dimitri, and asking him if there has been a comment. If there hasn't been a comment, we could still be totally fine. If there has, then I'm just missing it here. Anyway, let's go on. We had another viewer ask about getting your fur babies to Costa Rica. And this is a question I get from a lot of viewers and tons of people. In fact, they ask me, would you please cover how to get dogs down to Costa Rica? Because a lot of expats want to move down here with pets. And I wanted to make 2 comments on this in general. And first and foremost, the reason that I don't give specific advice on bringing down animals to Costa Rica is that because it changes so often and because the rules with airlines are so complex and they're so difficult to understand, you could probably have a YouTube channel entirely dedicated to keeping up with news about how to bring your pets into Costa Rica and what different breeds can currently get in, et cetera, et cetera. And so really, unfortunately, I think that anybody who wants to do this needs to do their own research. And everything points to, I really want to highly recommend investing what is necessary in paying a pet relocation service to answer all of these questions for you. A lot of people go out there and try and fight through the process themselves and end up really having to deal with hours and hours of difficulty understanding the bureaucracy, etc. There are pet relocation services in Costa Rica that are meeting the demand of foreigners looking to bring their fur babies down, and they can answer your questions and help you out. And another comment I wanted to make in general was just that a lot of people should consider, if you have something that an animal that you believe is one of your children, a true fur baby that is something that you only want the best for, that's really a member of your family, Costa Rica may not be the best place on earth for it. And I'm thinking specifically of long, shaggy-haired dogs that everybody may love to have in cooler climates that really might not be right for Costa Rica overall. And if there's any way for you to consider your plans and not necessarily forcing a huge change on an animal like that, bringing it down to Costa Rica, that may be a good step. Or if you have an animal that you really can't live without, that is going to require every ounce of your energy to say goodbye to, there are always a growing number of private chartered flights down to Costa Rica on which you can bring pretty much anything you want in terms of animals. And those are also springing up more and more. Yes, they're going to cost you an absolute arm and a leg. But again, when you look at the alternatives, if you're somebody who just can't tolerate the thought of your fur baby taking a trip in air cargo, then maybe you'll just have to pony up and pay the bill. Finally, we had a user ask about construction insurance, or really development insurance. And they were asking about insuring a property as it's under construction here in Costa Rica. I checked in with my agent, and unfortunately, the private insurers here will only give you a policy for the actual home itself once it's 85% done or more. So you do have access to home insurance as the home is being finished, but the biggest insurer in Costa Rica, which is INS, or the Instituto Nacional de Seguros, won't give you a policy until it's 85% completed. Let's move on and talk briefly about 2023 and what we're looking ahead. I have some very exciting news to share on the Coldwell Banker Pacific Realty front. We've welcomed 2 new team members this past couple of weeks. First of all, Dimitri, if you want to say hi, he'll pop into the frame for just a second. Hopefully, yes, here he is.
Hi, everybody.
This is Dimitri. Dimitri is my new executive assistant who will be joining us. He is Swiss originally. He adds a lot of different language skills, all kinds of great things to the team. We also now have a French-speaking sales agent, Camille Borlet, who has joined our team. So we're extremely excited to see our office grow headed into the new year. We're going to be throwing out some amazing stuff. We will be doing our weekly market report Monday nights at 6, where we give comps and direct, detailed real estate information to actually give you that value calculation when you're looking in the real estate market here. We'll also be expanding on our 3D virtual world. We really want to stitch together a place where online anybody can venture around our beach community. If you haven't already got the link to our 3D world, be sure to send me an email to matt@cbpacificrealty.com. Be happy to send you the link to that 3D virtual world. Over the next year, we're going to be adding more tours in there and hopefully get to a place where eventually you can stroll through multiple beach communities and enjoy all kinds of sunsets, flights, etc. in that space. And aside from that, in 2023, we have some very exciting new real estate listings. And one in particular, we just put on the market our 7-bedroom luxury beachfront home here in Playa Junquillal called House of Dreams. Overall, I'm excited about the home because prior to it, you don't see a lot of luxury beachfront development happening in our community. So to see somebody put a 6,800 square foot beautiful home in our area is a real treat. And to get to represent that is amazing. We have several different condos in the community coming online. One upstairs here will be estrenando. We'll be doing our new video on that here very soon. We've got a couple more in the community over at Iguana Villas and over at Villas Venado. A lot of exciting things happening here as the new year comes around. And of course, we will always be back live Thursdays at noon to cover Costa Rica real estate topics and answer all your questions. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and click on the notifications bell as well. Thanks very much for joining me today. Have a very happy New Year's. Hope your holidays have been spectacular, and pura vida.